Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Beached Club. I'm Sherilyn Korber. I'm an indie author and the author of the paranormal series Beached, which is set in the fictional upscale village of Bonfire Beach, South Carolina. The first two books in the Beached series are available now from Amazon, Apple Books, Barnes & Noble, Google Play, and Kobo. And you can also order personalized signed paperback copies directly from me if you'd like. I'm writing the third book in the series now, and each Friday evening in the summer, I'm releasing a video in which I share fun facts and backstory about the Bonfire Beach world, plus updates on the progress of Book 3 and other things I'm doing, and I do giveaways. If you like my videos, please be sure to click the thumbs up button and subscribe so you don't miss any. There is more to come even after the summer is over. So in last week's video, I did a live read of a portion of a scene from the new book, and it included the ex-wife and son of a character we got to know well in the second book, Beached 102 Low Tide. That character is Reese Price, who owns Halftime, the local sports bar just outside Bonfire Beach, and who has befriended my main character, Stacy Storm. Reese is vital to the premise of the entire story in that he knows everyone, he hears everything, and he is very well acquainted with a few people who can help Stacy figure out what went on in his new home in Bonfire, where a mass murder took place years earlier. Reese is a lot of fun to write and develop. He is one of my favorite characters, so tonight's Bonfire Beach history lesson will be about Reese. And then I'll give a quick Book 3 status update, and then we'll do tonight's giveaways. I'm actually a bit torn on spotlighting Reese in this video because part of the fun with Reese is that you never know what's going to come out of his mouth. You never know exactly where he's coming from. There are so many questions that Stacy has in terms of Reese's past and present, and Reese just nonchalantly drops bombshells in casual conversation and then just carries on with what he's saying like it's no big deal before Stacy can interject and ask about what Reese just said. He is a man of mystery, and I love that about him. So I'm not going to go into too much depth because I don't want to ruin that about Reese. I don't want to take away the mystery, but I can share how he came about as well as some basic facts about his background. Stacy first meets Reese in the first book in the Beached series, which is called Beached 101 Pilot, on his very first night in Bonfire Beach. Stacy is very not welcome in Bonfire. He is a disgraced reality TV psychic, which does not mesh well at all with what Bonfire is all about. Bonfire is genteel, old money, and even if Stacy wasn't a disgraced reality TV psychic, he would still be looked down upon because his background isn't what Bonfire Beach is known for. Reese, on the other hand, could care less about Stacy's past, and he accepts Stacy for who and what he is, in part because Reese truly doesn't care what people think, and in part because neither does Reese fit the Bonfire Beach, stereotype. The villagers accept him only to a point. He comes from money. He has a trust fund, and that's basically his only in. Otherwise, he's got plenty of strikes against him. He owns and operates a sports bar, not a conservative, 5-star, authentic, international cuisine type restaurant. He wears bright, splashy outfits. He's a womanizer. He is brash and flashy and unfiltered and completely over the top, even in his manner of speaking. He is a character in the truest sense of the word. Stacy's best friend even comments that Reese is like his own reality show, and he is. But he's charming and charismatic and a people person, and he's the first person in Bonfire Beach to show Stacy kindness and fairness. And it's not just despite everyone else. He is not pretentious that way. Reese comes from Los Angeles, and there is a whole backstory about that part of his past that I'm saving for the new book. You'll read about it there. He has an ex-wife and son named Dawn Michelle and Jedi, respectively, who I introduced last week. He and Dawn Michelle got married because Jedi was on the way, and they divorced not long after he was born. Reese and Dawn Michelle are not each other's favorite person, to put it mildly. They don't get along at all. I mentioned a minute ago that Reese is a womanizer, and that was part of what caused the breakup of their marriage. Many of the women in Bonfire Beach like Reese just fine, no matter how old or how young they are. And Reese assures Stacy that he and Stacy will get along great unless Stacy tries to steal one of Reese's women. There is one woman in particular that Reese is extremely protective of, who we also met in Beached 102 Low Tide. Her name is Paige, and she and her grown daughter were close friends with members of the family who was murdered in Stacy's mansion. Reese doesn't care that Stacy is poking around trying to learn more about the family, but he will not allow Stacy to talk to Paige about what her daughter might know. And in fact, he throws Stacy out of halftime one night when he overhears Stacy bring this up to Paige. Reese himself informs Stacy that he's not a softie and he's not sentimental about many things, but Paige is definitely the exception. When I'm writing, I have a general outline, but I also allow my imagination to take over and see where it leads me, and that is what happened with Reese. Reese was never meant to be anything more than a sometimes you see him, sometimes you don't character in the series. Whenever Stacy happened to swing by halftime for a beer or a quick bite to eat. But it started with his over-the-top personality, and then it went into his friendship with Stacy when Stacy really needed a friend, and then it went into Paige. And all of this just came about out of nowhere when I was writing scenes that featured Reese, and when I was sorting through it, I realized exactly how important Reese is to everything that is going on in Bonfire Beach. And this is where I get torn on how much to share, because, inside scoop, Reese's influence and the people in Reese's life are essentially the makeup of the bombshell that will be coming at the end of book 6, which is the last book in this first season of Beached. I have to be careful of what I reveal now because I absolutely can't give anything away. But this at least gives you a little bit of an inside look at what's coming. Reese is very, very important, and you want to pay attention. To try and be fair and share some details about Reese that may or may not ever be included in any of the books, he's not much of an animal person, but he does own a horse farm in Virginia. He enjoys astronomy, and he is in fact an amateur astronomer. He's a huge Star Wars fan. That's how Jedi got his name. He loves living in the South, and he has embraced and kind of refashioned himself after many aspects of Southern living, especially the food. He loves coconut cake. But his deep, dark secret is that he makes several trips back to California every year just to indulge his craving for In-N-Out Burger. His favorite color is green. His middle name is Mitchell. His birthday is December 21st. He still has a favorite skateboard from when he was a kid. And finally, he likes to read John Grisham novels. Reese and Dawn Michelle moved to Bonfire Beach from California a few months after they got married, before Jedi was born. With Reese's money, they could live anywhere, and Dawn Michelle thought the South sounded so romantic. And Reese admittedly likes the best of everything. He's used to that. He was raised that way. So he ultimately chose Bonfire Beach as their landing spot. Never mind that neither one of them really fit in, or does fit in now. It was after their divorce that he decided to open Halftime, both as a hobby and as a way to pay alimony and child support without having to pay that out of his trust fund. He refuses to give Dawn Michelle access to any of his family's assets. Being a successful businessman has helped his reputation in Bonfire somewhat, and Halftime has become a local landmark, but the villagers would be more impressed and more accepting if he had done something more refined than a sports bar. But Reese has never done what anybody wants him to do. He does what he wants. And in a lot of ways with Reese, what you see is what you get. But there is a whole other side to Reese that no one is aware of that is going to come into play very soon. And I am really looking forward to digging into that and developing that story. I love Reese, and I've heard from a number of readers who enjoy him as much as I do. So I hope that the future developments are just going to deepen people's affection for him, and I think they will. So that is our Bonfire Beach history lesson. In terms of book 3, there's not a whole lot new to report. I'm finishing filling in the rest of the outline and kind of cementing all my plot points, so a lot of behind-the-scenes work that isn't very exciting and you don't really get to see. I'm also trying to decide on my opening scene, and that's bringing about a lot of back and forth on how and where I want to jump into the storyline, which of course affects what comes after. You can see my W behind me. I haven't gotten back to it yet while I'm fleshing all of this out. Once that is done, the sticky notes will go up, and that's when things will really take off. So stay tuned. In other news, my second paranormal investigation of the summer takes place tonight, July 8th. In fact, as you're watching this, if you're watching it right after it goes live, I will be there, and I'll be there till 6 a.m. Saturday morning. This time, as I've mentioned before, my brother and I will be ghost hunting at Crescent Sanatorium in Crescent, Pennsylvania. So I'll be telling you all about our experience there in next week's video. Still open to suggestions for a place to investigate in August. If you have any good ideas, please share them in the comments down below. I'd love to see them and check them out. And so that brings us to tonight's giveaways. In addition to the weekly Bonfire Beach decal giveaway, this right here, this is what you get. This is what it looks like on paper. I will also be giving away, in keeping with the theme, I hope you can see that, a pint glass with the Halftime Sports Bar logo. I hope you can see, there we go, you can see it. This is available for sale in the Beached by Sherilyn Korber store on teespring.com. The decal is not, and it won't ever be. You can only ever get that here by winning something. The winner of the pint glass will get a brand new one. This one has been used, and giving it away would be gross, so we're not going to do that. You will get a new one. To win the decal, comment down below and tell me what your plans are for the second half of the summer. Geez, I can't believe summer's half over already. Tell me what you'll be doing for the rest of the summer, or tell me what you've done so far. How is your summer going? And to win the halftime pint glass, comment and tell me where you are watching from. I would love to learn more about where my viewers live, where my readers live. So for the pint glass, where are you right now? Where are you watching from? You may enter to win both prizes, but you can only win one. Winners will be chosen at random. All entries must be posted by 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday, July 12th. So that wraps up another weekend kickoff at the beach. I hope you have some fun things planned for the weekend. Take care, stay safe, and I will see you next week.